G'day ladies and gents, and welcome back to DCS World with Mags. It's been a while since I've done one of these videos. I really do need to focus on getting more DCS up on the channel. Anyways, today I've been inspired to fly out DCS's F-86F Sabre. Now I'm playing today on the DCS World 2.0 Alpha client, that is the Nevada Test and Training Range map. And unfortunately it doesn't have a huge selection of F-86 missions to choose from. In fact, there's only actually one. And this is the one that I'm playing today. It's called Intercept. Now, the mission itself in principle is fairly simple. When you start the mission, you air spawn in, and just to your left, about 10 kilometers out, it's clearly visible from the spawn zone, is an IL-78 air refueling tanker. Now, that IL-78 is in the process of beginning its descent to a runway to try and land. Your mission is to intercept the fueling tanker and shoot it down. If you fail to shoot it down before it lands, you fail the mission. So where's the challenge in shooting down an unarmed air refueling tanker, you ask? Well, the IL-78 is an aircraft that was designed in the early to mid-80s. It's an aircraft that was built to operate in the world of guided missiles, radar-guided anti-air artillery, aircraft-mounted 20 and 30mm cannons, and it's based on the IL-76, which is a strategic airlifter that is designed to operate in potentially contested hostile runways, moving troops and equipment in and out of a combat zone. That's an aircraft that is sort of designed by default to be able to take some ground fire and still remain operational. I of course am flying out a Korean War era North American aviation F-86F Sabre armed with 6 50 caliber machine guns and 1,800 rounds of ammunition. Now what that means is I simply don't have the firepower to line this thing up, pull the trigger and split the plane in half. I'm going to have to pull it apart piece by piece. So with our first pass, we've taken out the inside right engine. It's smoking, but I can't actually see whether or not the damage is significant beyond that at this time. You'll be surprised exactly how much firepower it can take to pop one of these engines. It's also worth noting, from the moment you start this mission, it only takes a little over 8 minutes for the IL-78 to make it to the runway and land. So you have 8 minutes to take it out. Sitting directly on its 6 and just firing out all its engines is not really an option either. The aircraft is actually flying at a fairly slow speed as it's getting ready to land at this point, a speed that is actually almost on your stall speed. You'll struggle to maintain an exact speed with it with the air brakes deployed and your throttle set to 0. In fact, you'll hear a buzzing at the moment. That buzzing is the engine RPM indicator. It's letting you know that I have the throttles pulled as far back as they can go. Now at this point I'm trying to get the aircraft as slow as I possibly can to give me the maximum amount of firing time on the underside of that aircraft. I want to pop the rest of those engines. A successful pass. The inside left is now smoking, the outside left is now burning, and that close pass also showed me that the inside right that I damaged earlier on has detached from the aircraft. So now we have both of the outside engines on fire, the inside left-hand engine smoking, the inside right-hand side engine completely removed from the aircraft. Now earlier on, in one of my first bursts, I also did damage to the rudder assembly. This time we're going to go for the elevator. Now the elevator is a very thin target, so I want to approach from a sharp angle if I can to give myself the best chance of actually hitting it. And there we go, we've successfully hit the elevator, but unfortunately only part of the elevator come off, which means the aircraft retains elevation control. Admittedly at a reduced capacity, but it's still got it. Now we're seriously running out of time here. Just to the left hand side of my gun sight, you can see the runway that the IL-78 is going to try and land at. I have to kill it now, or I'm going to fail. So my last shots here are going to be aimed at the inside left-hand engine, the last one that is still retaining relatively close to full power and not burning. And I'm going to try and put as many rounds as I can directly into the wing root as well and see what happens. And there she finally goes into the ground, about 3 kilometers short of touching down from the runway. When I first saw this mission, I thought, nah, this has been ridiculously easy, but as it turns out, it's quite difficult. You simply don't have the firepower to easily pull this aircraft down. So it requires a lot of extremely precise shots in order to disassemble it. It's a great little mission for those looking to really refine their aiming. But that was an unarmed target, so how about we go find something to make up for that? So, on to our next mission, and this one is not going to take very long. I made a slight mistake. DCS has an extremely powerful mission creator, one that you can use to create a mission of whatever type you want, with whatever aircraft you want in it, whatever ground vehicles you want in it. Very, very, very detailed mission editor. It's a little complex, but once you get used to using it, it is absolutely fantastic. You can recreate actual historical battles. But that's not what I did. Not thinking before jumping into this particular battle, I just hit the random generate mission button. At that point, DCS puts together a mission based on all of the aircraft it has available to it, and then sticks the plane you have selected in the middle of that battle. Of course, DCS is not exactly restricted to just Korean-era aircraft. And that was not a MiG-15. That did some slight damage. Well, maybe more than slight. course, at this point I don't actually realise exactly how severe the damage actually is, so I am trying to continue flying the aircraft. And it's going to work reasonably well up until I went and pulled the stick to the right. Yep, next time I get into a fight like this, I'm bringing a bigger plane. Anyways, ladies and gents, thank you very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video. Click like if you do, subscribe if you want to see more. Fly smart, fly safe, and I'll catch you in the skies.